Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. So the most important news and editorial that are relevant for the preparation of civil services examination will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with the news topic first. Today is 13th of February, the first important news, that is understanding the micro LED display technology. This is from the text and context page of the Hindu. Apple is looking forward to use this micro LED displays, and even the tech giant like Samsung is already using it. So this type of technology related issues become important for prelims examination. Second, central agencies gear up to strengthen the framework. We'll see the detail about the FATF and other part. Third, 14th edition of Biennial Aero India, basically conference, or you can say the part of exhibition that is ongoing. The second last is India-US Space Cooperations from Handshake to Hug. This is editorial. There are two editorials. The first editorial is from Hindu, and the second editorial is from Indian Express, The Pull of Fast Fashion. We'll see the detail how the green garment can flourish in India and what are the potential ways. So apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further delay, let's get started. And before I begin the session, those of you who are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do press a like button. Starting the session with the first news, that is understanding the micro LED displays technology. This is from the text and context page of the Hindu, something important for general studies paper 3 under the subtopic, that is technology and the development of new technology. So as per the media report, tech giants like Apple is shifting to micro LED display technology, which is reported under the process. Now, this is considered as the next big transition in the display technology. If you talk about other technology that is used as of now and which is advanced is called OLED, right? So OLED अभी present में काफी advanced technology मानी जाती है display के context में, but the other part that has to be explored is the micro LEDs. Now, Apple is currently working on the new display technology that is planned to implement the same future in the future watches and other product that is coming starting from 2024. This is what the official confirmation coming from the tech giants. Now, about micro LED display and technology, how does it functions? What are the basic components which make it more special? So the basic of micro LED technology is a sapphires, right? Which is giving it more vibrancy, and vibrant display is being evident on the consumer end. So the sapphire can shine of its own forever, and the micro LED screen is fitted with such small but strong lines. So compared to OLED, जहाँ पे आप display या screen size में देखेंगे, there is something that display is a figure around this, but in micro LED, the minute particle which is very close to it is arranged, right? So the arrangement in this is proximity is on the higher side, and the number of small dots, or you can say the screen that is fitted, the strong light is on a higher side. Now, the pictures in micro LED screens is generated by several individual light emitting diodes. And even the micro LEDs are self-illuminating diodes that have a brighter and better color reproductions than the organic light emitting diode, also known as OLED display technology, which is again the latest one currently being used in most of the LED, LCDs, and the part of display that is used in smartwatch and even for the mobile screens. Now, advantage of micro LED over the displays. So micro LED displays are brighter. As I've told you, that the configurations is of RGB, right? Red, green, blue जो component होते हैं वो use किए जाते हैं, and they have a better color reproductions and provide better viewing angles. Now, they make the particular appearance part, and if they are painted on the top of the device of the glass, are quite a technological feat according to the Bloomberg, which they have reported. Now, micro LEDs have a limitless scalability, and they're high resolutions, bezel free, ratio free, and even size free. So for many of the devices that you have come across, if you're using cell phone, you can find the bezels are there, right? So the sideline are called bezels. So ये जो screens होती हैं micro LEDs में वो bezel less बनाई जा सकती है, and even it is more advanced compared to other part of the screen that is currently in functions. Now the screen can be freely resized in any form for the practical uses, and in addition to this, the self-emissive micro LEDs also individual produce red, green, blue, जिसे RGBs colors कहते हैं. So this is again something very important. The RGB is used without needling the same black light or the color filters as a conventional display, right? So these are the major advantages of micro LED. And even talking about this context, why we are discussing this news, a direct question in the prelims examination can be framed, because whenever there's a technology related issues ongoing in the newspaper, you can expect questions from there. Now, a difference between the TFT, LCD, OLED and micro LED displays, this is mentioned here. So TFT की अगर बात करें, it is set up as an electronic circuit और liquid crystal layers use की जाती हैं जो LCD screens होती हैं. OLED, this is again electric current. OLED is emitting light and even mixing the red, green, blue light in organic form with a thin film. And in micro LED, the features are miniature LED arrays are there, with micro LED functioning with the pixels that can drive and emit light, and with modules becoming smaller, brighter image quality are responsive and speed also improve. तो कई बार refresh rate बोली जाती है mobile phones में, even refresh rate for display that is used is on a higher side. Even OLED has a good display refresh rate, but these part are taken care of. तो अगर आपसे कुछ basics you want to read out, you can get the details from this particular image. Now moving to the other news, that is the 14th editions of biennial Aero India exhibitions. Something important for General Studies Paper 2 under the subtopic, that is the government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from a design and implementations. So the Prime Minister of India will inaugurate the 14th edition of biennial Aero India exhibition. I am recording this lecture. The exhibition might already be started. The exhibitions will showcase country as an emerging hub of the manufacturing military aircraft, the helicopters part, the equipment of new age technology that is there for the avionics. So the state of art technology will be definitely part of the exhibitions that will be incorporated during the 14th editions of biennial Aero exercise. The 5-day exhibitions will see the participants from 108 defense companies, and the delegates from 98 countries will be participating, which is held at Bengaluru in India. Now, the theme for 14th edition of Aero India is the runway to the billion opportunities that will radiate and raise strong and the self-reliance new India by displaying the current government growth in aerospace and defense capabilities. Now, business agreements की अगर बात करें in terms of business agreements, so 250 business to business agreements are expected at Aero India, which is estimated to unlock investment to a tune of 75,000 crore rupees. The focus of the event, what are the main focus? Now, the government of India is looking to put impetus on some major part. Some of them include Make in India. And not only for Make in India, for Make for World vision that government is looking forward with. The focus of the biennial Aero exhibitions will be on displaying indigenous equipment and technology and partnering with the foreign countries and companies to augment and enhance the level of production that is there in India. So Aero India will act as a catalyst to further growth the aerospace sector in India, and it will help the realizing country aim of becoming self-reliant in defense manufacturing. Although talking about the defense manufacturing, Government of India has a lot of part of the agreement and MOUs that is signed with different countries, and some of the part is already function. तो government की focus ये है कि जितनी manufacturing है defense sector में वो indigenous हो, and the cost cutting should be there, and even the advancement in technology can be there by the technology transfers. We have agreement with France, Egypt, Israel and other countries which is helping out in terms of the defense manufacturing. The event will significantly contribute to the development of aerospace and aviation sectors. Now, the Aero India 2023 will design the part of the leadership growth in UAV and even like sectors like defense sector and futuristic technology. कुछ स्पेसिफिक एम्स की अगर बात करें, एक्सपोर्ट ऑफ इंडियनाइजेशन एयर प्लेटफॉर्म की भी बात की गई है, light compact aircraft, this is Tejas, which India definitely export to other countries. HTT-40 Dornier light utility helicopter, जिसे LUH भी कहते हैं, light compact helicopter LCH, and advanced light helicopter, that is ALH. Now, this will integrate the domestic, micro, small and medium enterprises, जो startups हैं, and even the global supply chain, will attract the foreign investment in India. जो partnership होगी, that will be in terms of coordinated efforts that will be ongoing between the countries, and the co-development and co-production part will also increase. So significantly, mutually benefit will be there for both countries. Specifically, we are pinpointed focusing on India's part. The central agencies gear up to strengthen the framework, something important for General Studies Paper 2 under the subtopic, that is bilateral regional grouping and agreement involving India and affecting India's interest. So the government of India has expedited the efforts to further strengthen the anti-money laundering process and even to counter terror financing framework in view of the FATF assessment that will be coming. This will be the fourth round of mutual evaluations that will take from the FATF. So FATF as an organization is very important for your examination. Make sure you something brief read about the FATF from their official page. काफी relevant होंगी आपके examination point of view से. Many a times UPSC tend to ask 2 or 3 statement question where a relation is established between the organization, right? The Financial Intelligence Unit is organizing the meeting with a representative from the sectors across real estate, ensuring the compliances of Know Your Customer. So this is the part to enhance the surveillance part and even to have a cross-check on the participants. According to the FATF, the possible on-site assessment is due by November 2023, while finding may also be discussed in June 2024 plenary. The mutual evaluations of India was postponed due to COVID-19 pandemic. Now, कुछ key aspects की अगर बात करें, the scope of mutual evaluations involved 2 important aspects. यहाँ पे 2 important aspects हैं जिन पे basically focus है. The first is technical compliances, which call for assessment whether the necessary legal framework is associated, or even बात करें associated measures की, which is there in force, whether the supporting institutional framework are in place. So there have been a lot of contributions from India's end, also in terms of a mutual agreement that is there, right? So assessment के part में technical compliances करनी है, and even to determine if the system are working onwards towards achieving the defined set outcome. So the outcome part, the desired result which is there will be taken into consideration, and in the assessment part, in the final compilation of the report that will be prepared by the FATF, all things will be taken into consideration. Now, combating terror financing is again a significant part. The government of India has organized a series of conference that is focusing on the counter-terror financing, including the United Nations Security Council Counter-Terrorism Committee, especially on a special conference. Now, no money for terror. This is what India has already advocated in many multilateral forums, where India hosts in its headquarters, and even the UNSC briefing to challenges of the global terrorism in UNCT in New York. So at the global level, India advocated that there should be no compliances when it comes to terror, and no terror financing should be appreciated at any end. And a mandated law to other agencies has been referring, causing involving a mandatory laundry angle for the law enforcement agencies and for action. So money laundering की अगर बात करें, there are things that need to put in place. Government has already made several changes with regards to the part of money laundering, and even PFL की अगर बात करें, Prevention of Money Laundering Act भी की गई है गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से. So Prevention of Money Laundering Act are something which has been revamped by the government, and so government of India is completely looking strictly on the part of combating the terror financing. The FATF review की अगर बात करें 2010, the FATF has highlighted 2 shortcomings for India's legal framework. The first was for the classifications of assets, which was based on the conventions that is subsequently addressing the amendment to Section 8, subsection 5 of the PMLA. And money laundering was something as standalone offenses that were reported, right? And according to FATF report, the possible on-site assessment of India is due on November 2023. Now, moving to the editorial of the day. This is the first editorial for the discussion, that is India-US Space Cooperations from Handshake to Hug. Something important for General Studies Paper 2 under the subtopic, that is the effect of policies and politics of developed and developing countries on India's interest and India's diaspora. So what are the issues that will evolve under this editorial? So first, talking about the theme of this editorial. The theme is about India-US space cooperations. Some of the issues include the advancement in the space sector, mismatch in the interest of space, challenges for India, solutions, and the way forward. Now, if you see the recent development that is taking place between India and United States is a milestone achievement that is taking place. And in terms of boosting the space sector, both countries, the major development is like bolstering the security in the space sector. And India and US have agreed to advance their defense collaborations in several areas. अगर बात करें recent initiative की, there was a recent initiative called ICET. I think most of you must be aware of this. इस ICET भी कहते हैं. ये एक अम्ब्रेला टेक्नोलॉजी इनिशिएटिव्स थी जहां पे दोनों कंट्री ने कोलैबोरेट की एंड ट्राइंग टू डेवलप ऑन द पार्ट ऑफ द स्पेस कोलैबोरेशंस एंड अदर टेक्नोलॉजिकल एंड इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजी कोलैबोरेशंस. सो दिस एफर्ट इंक्लूड द ह्यूमन स्पेस एक्सप्लोरेशंस एंड कमर्शियल स्पेस पार्टनरशिप. Now follow this 8th meeting which was there between US-India Civil Space Joint Working Group, which was held in January 30th, 31st in 2023 this year. Achievement in space sectors की अगर बात करें, in November 2022, the United States has started its Artemis program that was launched by the Orion spacecraft towards moon and bring it safely back to the earth. This was the main mission that was envisaged by the United States. But India की अगर बात करें, इंडिया ने अपने इस सेक्टर्स में जो स्पेसिफिकली हाईलाइट की है वो है ह्यूमन स्पेसक्राफ्ट मिशंस के बारे में, which is known as गगनयान. And both countries are keen on significantly advancing the private space sectors. In that context, India and US is collaborating. That seems to be straightforward because both are looking forward for the collaborations of private partner in the space sector. Now, in India-US cooperation, this will enable the sustainable long civilian and military space partnership. So the partnership in terms of both countries will also look forward to strengthen some of the core and the loopholes area which is still not strengthened, right? तो यहाँ पे कोशिश ये की जाएगी जो सस्टेनेबल और लॉन्ग टर्म सिविलियन और मिलिट्री पार्टनरशिप है उसको और इनहांस किया जाए. Now, mismatch in the part of interest on the space program. See, both countries have their own priorities. If you see US, they have own set of priorities in terms of exploration of the moon. If you see India, UAV और फिर अगर गगनयान की बात करें, ये इंडिया की अपनी priorities है. So there's a little bit differences in the interest when it's come to the space program. So the first structural factor that has limited the long-term India-US cooperations is both countries has their own interest in the space sector. The US is committed to returning to the moon, although the US and its partner are stressing on importance of maintaining the capabilities of LEO, that is low Earth orbit, right? And even the ambitious part of firming the moon, right? Meanwhile, India के जो scientist community है वो focus कर रहे हैं national capacity and on the path under the Earth orbit, and even ISRO is currently undertaking fewer than 10 launches this year. Recently, some of the satellite launches of SSLV was there. Now, the Gaganyaan human spacecraft program hopes for India that the human space program in this space for a longer run. So there is a little deviations in terms of priorities for both the countries. Challenges for India की अगर बात करें, the greatest challenge for India is the lack of capacity. The country has just 60 satellites in orbit and cannot undertake the double-digit growth annually. And the Indian government is also open to space industries for private sector only in 2020. Right? So this is like very beginning or new to India. Since US has already extensive network and partnership with the space collaborations, they have already invited the private companies. They work on the model of PPP, so that they're working out for the specific country, right? And few technical incentives to cooperate on the part of India is also there. Now, some solutions that can be given in this regard is that the standard solutions to induce long-term cooperations between India and US would be engagement of academicians, right? Academics part and several private sector state-led entities can help both of the countries. Sustained engagement that could help to form a collaborations with highly specialized projects that include NASA ISRO synthetic aperture radar, जिसे NASAR mission भी कहते हैं. So this is NASAR mission is again important for your examination purposes. Now, India and US must find the noble solutions to cooperate in the newest space to achieve a meaningful partnership. Definitely, if the country has collaborated, they will always look forward for the new space technology. And India could see its astronaut as the part to train the American private companies. So this part can also be explored from India's end. Now, this could also help to India to reduce the dependence on Russia, while Israel will build its own astronaut technical center. So we are relying to some other countries for our training part in terms of astronaut. Now, with this, India is looking forward to establish its own training center in India itself. Now, way forward की अगर बात करें, in the structural barrier that can lead to deeper and long-term partnership in the new space technology. As a novel arrangement, it could be a consortium that can lead to the government-owned space, new limited involve the part of the private companies in the United States, and this could accelerate India's spacecraft program that can give an opportunity for both US and India to accommodate India's interest in the Earth orbit. So there has to be a synchronization in terms of mutual interest, and both countries should look forward that equal benefit is coming out with an initiative that they are actually working out. So this is how the things can work, and although the initiative in terms of space sector is carved out very well between two countries. Now, moving to the second editorial of the day, this is the pull of a fast fashion, something important for general studies paper 3, that is conservation, environmental pollutions, degradation and EIA. Why I have categorized this editorial in this context, you will make out once we have a discussion, because यहाँ पे बात की गई है किस तरह से खास करके जो plastics, recycled plastics है उनकी use के through अभी recent Prime Minister has used some of his jackets. We'll see the discussion part in detail. So what are the issues that I'll be discussing in this? First is the carbon emissions by fashion industries, challenges and the consumer demographic. The issues or the theme is the green wear. So recently the Prime Minister has wore a blue vest made of recycled plastic bottles during the Parliament session. The image was viral in social media. Even you can check it out. You can Google it. Now, doing so, he was trying to inculcate an idea where sustainability of clothes and conscious choice should be there. That and even to give an impression that needs to be made in everything life to save our environment. So what best possible can be done, the byproduct and things that can help even in the sustainable part of living. आप इसे एक example के तौर पे इंडिया की जो life initiatives हैं उसे भी उससे जोड़ के देख सकते हैं. Now the vast majority, that is India's fashion at national level, is still the fast produced in the retail wear. Now carbon emissions by fashion industries, if you look into the part, globally, the fashion industries cause 10% of the total carbon emission. So this is again a factual information relevant for prelims as well as for mains examination. So this sector yield harmful greenhouse gases that is projected to grow more than 50% by 2030. Industry uses 93% of cubic meter of water annually. Again, there's a wastage of water. And even if there's a lot of water that is being used, there will be the depletion of the water table and the shortage of water that is there. The National Climate Change Journal, which was reported from India's end, it says that the textile manufacturing is the most polluting sector in the economy, emitting 1.2 billion ton of the greenhouse gases. And according to a survey which was done by Levi's Strauss, this is a brand which manufacture known for their jeans. उन्होंने कहा कि that 3,781 liters water ये use करते हैं during the productions of a pair of jeans, right? And while 33.4 kg of carbon dioxide is created throughout the lifetime. So this factual information can be used from your end also if you're writing as an example in the mains part, right? Now this include growing the cotton part, productions of denims and washing at home. Now there's also the issue of waste chemical leaching that into what part of water and non-biodegradable leftover that is spilled for a landfill. So carbon emissions की बात करें fashion industries में, it has a lot. Definitely they need to have a think upon this where the reductions can also come from the fashion industries. कुछ challenges की अगर बात करें, the primary challenge is that the green wear does not come cheap. It costs, अगर बात करें machinery and even the part of logistic and even the part of the things that is evolving, it has a cost, right? And this is because the sustainable fashion does not come easily to the economics. So it has a cost that is involved. And it's not only about setting up of a zero carbon production or a supply chain. It is also about including the fair trade, ethical practices, nurturing artisanship, and even recycling and upcycling the part of circulant which is there in the productions. Now, another big challenge is the procurement of sustainable raw material, and organic cotton, handlooms, and even recycled fiber, polyester, dead stocks, and things that need to be consideration while minimizing the waste, emissions, effluent, and organic dyes should be taken into the part of considerations. Now, scaling the businesses bigger and is a challenge, and even a huge demand is there from the industry side, and even for the consumer end there is a demand. So these challenges need to be looked upon. The sustainability part has to be the main priority and focus area. Now, consumer demographic की अगर बात करें, with India's consumer demographic becoming younger, under 25 years, the fashion appear to be conscious with delicate your behavior. Melinsky report has the McKinsey की अगर report को देखें तो McKinsey के report ने कहा है, it has predicted that online fashion shopper has reached up to 500 million by 2030. And data shows that 20 years, the number of the clothes brought by double by 50 billion garment to 100 billion garment. So this is the anticipation, the actual part of the data that is evident from the global reports. Now, other than this news, I just wanted to include two important part of the news. If you want, you can read it out. The detailed discussion is although not required. So just briefly tell you what is the part. आप इसे पढ़ सकते हैं. WhatsApp के साथ गवर्नमेंट ने कहा है कि जो चैट GPT है उसे इंटीग्रेट की जाएगी ताकि जो गवर्नमेंट स्कीम है उसमें मदद मिल पाए. सो दिस अगेन कैन बी यूज्ड एज एग्जांपल. ई गवर्नेंस के पार्ट में इस तरह के एग्जांपल्स में आप इसे पढ़ सकते हैं. And the other news that might be relevant for your examination is former Supreme Court judges among the 6 new governor appointed. तो आप यहाँ पे जो गवर्नर की अपॉइंटमेंट की प्रोसेस है, you can look upon this, how are the government appointed and what are the powers that is there for the governors that can be directly relevant for the prelims examination, right? So these were the two other news that you can read out from today's newspaper. Now, moving to the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of Saturday questions. तो सैटरडे क्वेश्चन के जो करेक्ट ऑप्शन है, फॉर द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज ए, फॉर सेकंड क्वेश्चन द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज बी. Today's MCQ for practice about consider the following statement about Shamruddhi corridor. So it was inaugurated by the Prime Minister in Karnataka. It will be among the country's tallest, longest greenfield project, and it passes through 3 wildlife sanctuaries. So do check it out which among the following is the correct, A, B, C or D. Now the second question for the day is about the Mount Semeru volcano was recently seen in news. Is related to which of the following countries, whether it is related to Italy, Japan, Sudan or Indonesia. So for correct answer, we'll be disclosing a part of the answers in tomorrow's session. So this was all about for today's daily news and editorial analysis, also including the part of MCQs. If you have any other concern, you can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.